My name is Cheryl Friend and I'm a member of the Friends of the Port St. Lucie Botanical Garden. I'm going to be talking to you today about plant material selection. Spring brings out the acquisitive aspects of gardeners, and the local nurseries and plant sales are full of wonderful new plants. But before you buy, give some thought to why you're buying a specific plant. Each plant has a function in your garden, and before you add plant materials, you should give some thought to that function. Is the plant screening a view you want to improve? On a hot day, will you enjoy your yard more with additional shade? Do you want to add color or perhaps fruit to your garden? Are you interested in attracting birds or butterflies? If you are careful defining the function of plants, your selections will fit your garden's needs. You will be more satisfied with your work and a happier gardener. For a plant to meet a set of criteria, we also need to be able to describe the plant. What are the plant's characteristics? How tall and how wide will the plant grow? Will it fit in your space? Or will you be spending a lot of beach time trimming a much too large plant? Often we buy plants that grow quickly to the size we want and then keep right on growing. It's much more efficient to select plants that will fit a space but not crowd out the neighbors. It's much more cost-effective to pay a little more for a dwarf plant that will grow more slowly but will not require as much maintenance and will not need to be replaced as quickly. While you are thinking about plant characteristics, spend some time thinking about the design characteristics of the plants. These have been traditionally grouped into three topics: form, color, and texture. Plants have a naturally occurring form. Form is shape. Tall and skinny, short and wide, flat, round, arching, upright. Think about what sort of shape you want in a given space. Sometimes we want to create other shapes, but often we would be better served and have less work to do if we respect the inherent form of the plant and choose plants that have the form we want from the start. If you have access to a computer, it's easy to play around with plant forms using the shape files that most computer programs include in their word processing programs. You can overlay a computer-generated design on the photo of your house and have a better idea what your garden will look like. Plants also have inherent colors and textures. Many times when a garden feels like it's lacking spark or punch, it's because all of the textures are the same. Try to consider a variety of textures when you are picking out plants. Plant textures vary from tiny little furry leaves to giant shiny tropical leaves. Surface texture matters because it affects how light is reflected. Shiny textures reflect a lot of light and tend to be glittery, especially in our bright sun with a little breeze to move the leaves. Matte textures tend not to reflect light and not to be as prominent in the landscape. Plant color includes not only flowers and fruit, but also leaves and bark. Some bark is particularly ornamental and well worth considering for your garden. Also think about color. Green is a primary plant color, but is really not one color. There are hundreds of different greens, from pale, almost white, to almost black. The darkness of green also affects how close plants look. Dark colors and gray, misty colors tend to recede into the landscape, and light colors tend to be more prominent. For shade gardens, often a dose of light in variegated foliage will add just the contrast that is needed. Other plant characteristics to consider are thorns, fruit, and other debris. Don't install plants with large thorns or spines where people are likely to be passing close or sitting. But thorns and spines can be useful if you want the plants to function as a barrier or to discourage through traffic. Do think about the fruit. Not just the kind you eat, but other kinds. Some plants produce lots of squishy, slippery fruit that can be an issue with pedestrians and messy on cars and patios. Other plants, especially the larger palms, can drop big fronds and nuts that will make a significant impact on whatever they hit. Consider whether the plant will grow in the site we have selected. Is there enough sun or shade? More modern nurseries provide a lot of information on their labels and will often tell you if the plant needs full sun, partial sun, or a lot of shade. Also, for a good source of internet information, you can access state agricultural extension services. In Florida, that is ifas.ufl.edu. I hope this helps with your garden plant selections. And please stop by the Port St. Lucie Botanical Garden and visit with our volunteers. And thank you for watching Tips from the Garden.